All right. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the page. It's your boy Karceno here. And we're about ready to go. Hope you're ready. Should be another epic night.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so
yeah, that's what's up. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Karceno. Oh, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
No one knows Karceno and none of these.
There's so much going on in the world, and I'm just giving my 2 cents on it. Go in and do a raid in someone's house, but you don't have an arrest warrant for them. What's up? So, Pat McAfee decided, in his infinite wisdom, in his most glorious ways, he is going to come up with a way to promote himself. Get the ticker going. The Cash App is Karceno, and you could donate there. You could super chat. It's all wonderful. Now, I've tried, people. I've tried to get people to look at the benefit of doubt, tried to give people like Pat McAfee a pass. You know, even though he likes people I don't like, I didn't want to hold that against him. Nope, didn't want to do it. Now, there's so many different things that have materialized over the last few years. And when you start seeing them, then you'll start to understand. Now, we all know LeBron James did an interview with Pat McAfee. We all said, okay, LeBron's going to sit down and do this interview with Pat McAfee. This is going to be, one of those LeBron moments where he's sitting down. It's going to be an epic thing. People are going to talk about it. How's it going to look? And he goes on the show and does what we thought he was going to do. He went there, did things his way. He was thrown softball after softball after softball, and nobody gave him any pushback. None. Zilch. So LeBron James get no pushback. Pat McAfee acts like a darling fan who wants him to sign a goddamn autograph poster that he had since like 2003. So the goddamn punter is losing his mind. Then when this is over, all of this is over, all the attention goes on. He takes a shot at your colleague, who's Stephen A. Smith, takes a shot at him. Once again, not saying you had anything to do with that, but it was okay for this man to take a shot at Stephen A. Smith. No repercussions. Nobody's at fault. No bad blood. Why? Because it's all white. When it's all white, it's all white. Now, Of course, everybody was waiting on Stephen A. to make his response. And rightfully so, because, he was the one being called out. So why wouldn't people want to see this brought to the forefront? I know I wanted to see it brought to the forefront. Oh, yeah, very much. Now, the topic was raised by Stephen A. and Kendrick Perkins, both. It was implied that LeBron James, for some reason, chose Pat McAfee to go on his show, a white guy. He didn't make him wait a couple years. They weren't chasing him down for an interview. He chose to go on the Pat McAfee show. But what about his black counterparts that are his boys? Why didn't he choose to give them the same love? Why didn't he extend his hand out to them and say, hey, you guys are my brothers? I got to spread love. Where was his infinite patience then? Where was his cooperation? Where was his compassion for his brothers? Why didn't he go on his brother's show and talk? Why wouldn't he give that moment to his brothers, his brethren who breathe his every word every day with praise? Pat McAfee don't praise you. You think Pat McAfee is your friend? Is that what you thought? You thought Pat McAfee was your friend. Oh, boy. This is what I talk about, people. This is why I do this. Because at the end of this, I just want to understand. Now, the reason I say at the end of this, I just want to understand is because Pat McAfee did that interview, and it was the most softball thing I've ever seen. Now, once he went on Twitter to try to, instead of understanding where brothers were coming from when they were saying what they were saying, Pat McAfee decided to choose another path. He wanted to go and double down on what he's calling the race issue. And here's what Pat said. I want y'all to see this. Pat McAfee said, "Good morning, beautiful people. I still can't believe LeBron had a conversation with a white guy the other day. Trying to be funny, but it's corny." And I said, I don't know why he does that all the time. I don't know why you can't believe it. He does that all the time. I still can believe the white guy asked him softball questions for an hour. Because that's exactly what you did. You threw underhand softball questions after softball question. You didn't ask him anything real. You didn't ask him, why did Chael Sonnen say that you were taking steroids? You didn't ask him anything real. You didn't ask him why wasn't he at Dwayne Wade's Hall of Fame induction. You didn't ask him nothing. You didn't ask him, well, about the Luka trade, did you know what was going on? Because Marquise Morris said that you wanted him on the team with Luka. But how could that be if you didn't know the trade was going down? None of these questions. Believe me, these are the questions the fans want to know. These are the questions the fans want to know. You ain't asked him about nothing. So I've always been a big LeBron James fan. I was like, dude, you were doing that interview like you had to go take a pee. I mean, you've always been one of the greatest players of all time, the all-time leading scorer. Yeah, you know, I've always been a big LeBron James fan. Oh my God, he was amazing. This guy just scores a lot of points. I mean, you help me out, black guy. That's why I got you sitting here today, black guy. Come on, black guy, ask some questions. LeBron, can you tell me when you got the Cleveland? I mean, I don't know where they found this black guy from, but I guess he was the only black guy who knows anything about basketball. So they just dug him up out the grave. So Pat McAfee decides to make that tweet to make fun or make light at the fact that LeBron James selects the white media over the black media. He turned down Jemele Hill when she was on ESPN and was the hottest thing going at the time, her and Michael Smith. They were the hottest thing going, right? Turned it all down. Turns it all down. And you're wondering probably, why would you turn that down? They're the hottest thing. ESPN wanted you to just do a bit on SportsCenter, which was only about maybe 10 to 15 minutes of your time. And a little sit-down session they was going to do. And he wanted Rachel Nichols to do it. No, LeBron's not going to do it unless it's Rachel. He feels more comfortable with Rachel. He doesn't know Jemele Hill. So he just feels more comfortable doing this with Rachel. So if it's Rachel, he'll do it, but he's not going to do it if it's not Rachel. He just don't feel comfortable with the rest of these people. He has no rapport with them. So your guy, Adam Medelson, got that information over to ESPN, and they made it Rachel Nichols. Jemele Hill didn't care because she never asked for it. But you turned down the black woman for the white woman. So LeBron made it a race issue a long time ago. He made it a race issue a long time ago, Pat. So you shouldn't have gotten involved in something you don't understand. Because while you keep putting on your Superman cape, acting like you're so pro LeBron, right? And you're a LeBron James fan. Want me to rewind the clock for you? I think it's time we stop your lies, Pat McAfee. And why I'm really upset with you, because I already know. And you know I know. But let's kick it off.
Just a couple years ago.
That guy stinks, by the way. I am done with him.
Who, LeBron?
I'm done with him.
Well, you didn't like his antics last night?
I get everything. Tom Brady, the difference between Tom Brady and LeBron is Tom Brady will go there, and Tom Brady is so competitive. Although he has the TB12 treatment and the TB12 facilities, and he does have a business on the side, he's not worried about all of the extra curricular activities. He's not going to start like 7 shows. He's not going to do all this. He's become very difficult to like. He's become a very difficult person to like. I was a diehard LeBron James fan.
Yeah.
Had a shoe deal, was driving a Hummer, the whole thing. Went to Cleveland, then he went to Miami, back to Cleveland. He's a hero, saved the day, out to L.A. No team. Shows up drunk to the court. Starts doing ridiculous things on the basketball court and NBA court. Not something that the greatest of all time would do. Kind of gave up, took a vacation year, which makes sense because you've been in the playoffs for so long. You played more basketball than everybody else. Take a year off when you get to LA. Do what you got to do. Start a couple shows. Get mad at Magic Johnson. Do whatever you got to do. But this year, he got his guy. He's got Anthony Davis. He's got his guy. He's got a team. Got a new coach. Then he tries to copyright Taco Tuesday. Then the China stuff, which just makes him look like an absolute buffoon. Absolute buffoon. Absolute buffoon.
You had LeBron James on your show. You ain't asked him none of that shit you was talking. What happened to that, Pat McAfee? All that Superman shit you was talking years ago, you got him sitting right there in your chair, and you sitting there like a schoolgirl with a crush. Oh, Mr. LeBron. Oh, Mr. LeBron. It was ridiculous. This the LeBron versation. I'm like, I wanted to slap you just for that word that doesn't exist. He neutered himself. Now, come out and tell us the truth, Pat. Tell us the truth. It's a PR stunt, just like everything else LeBron does. Of course it is. All for marketing and promotion. He's always working. But Pat McAfee sat there and told the truth about LeBron James right there. That's why I never had a bad word to say about Pat. Pat, you know that. When have I spoke bad about you, Pat? Never. So once again, I say to you, from me, why are we having this situation all over again? It's not healthy to have this conversation over and over on repeat. It just isn't. And the reason that it isn't is because it's time consuming. No one really cares. Everybody says, oh man, let's see how this is going to play out. How it's going to play out? It's already played out. LeBron James put himself in this predicament. And the reason that LeBron James put himself in this predicament is because he's selfish. He wanted to score a point on Stephen A. Smith popping up on Pat McAfee's show as if Stephen A. hates Pat McAfee. No, he was using Pat McAfee to get his way. He said, oh, I'm going to use this back and forth because they ain't finna play me. They finna use me to build up Pat. When they put Pat McAfee on his show and they put Pat McAfee on First Take to promote and be the lead-in for the Pat McAfee show, only on like Wednesdays, and he had to appear on the show and he's, hey, what's up, Unc? Oh, yeah, nobody like that. Pat McAfee didn't want to do it anyway. He was doing it for them to help their ratings. He was like, I don't need the help. Y'all need the help. And now First Take has turned into WWE slapstick. It is like ridiculous monologues. You got Gilbert Arenas on there. That's when it started to go downhill. You put Gilbert Arenas on the show, waste of time. Then you bring Karceno on the show, even more clown shit. So nobody takes it serious now. Now you're putting YouTubers onto your platform. You want to break the internet? Invite me. Oh, I'll get you some numbers. You like numbers? Oh, we going to tear the whole thing down. I will never be invited back again. And it's going to be great, too. Molly tried to interject. I'll be, Molly, sit down, okay? Look like Count Dracula's mistress. Sit down somewhere. Don't you cut me off. Keep this thing rolling. They're going to be, did he really say that about Molly? I'll be like, she take this thing, this makeup off her face, she'll look like the Wicked Witch of the West. Sit down. Don't you interrupt me no more. See, Pat, he knew one or two things. He knew this interview was going to be huge for him. Having LeBron James, when nobody else get to really sit down with LeBron unless they're special. But why would LeBron James, for all his fans, is happy that he sat down with Pat McAfee? He didn't address none of the stuff Pat said about him. Pat McAfee has never praised you. We just showed you that. Can we find anybody can show us Pat McAfee praising LeBron James? So when he pops up there, So when he pops up there, exactly what you said. You said worst moderator ever. It's a large piece of the puzzle missing. And the large piece of that puzzle is the fact that LeBron James went on somebody's show who wasn't positive to him. So either they didn't vet Pat McAfee, or didn't care. And they knew Pat McAfee was going to come in as a friendly. Now, Pat McAfee says, we don't use prompters. Never have, never will. No way will we ever use teleprompters. They don't use any teleprompters, and they don't use, and which is a shot at Stephen A. Smith, by the way. Because, Stephen A. Smith is used to reading off the teleprompter. Pat McAfee says, LeBron walked in here, there's no script, there's no teleprompters. It was like a conversation. That's how I interview. There's no script. Anytime I've conducted an interview with a boxer, I did it in conversation format. That's my style. So while everybody is using the style that I basically has prominently made famous, we're constantly bumping our heads into a said scenario that's not changing. People are stuck in their ways. And Pat should have knew that he was going to get exposed. Pat, you should have known. You thought I wasn't coming? Pat, you know better. I was dead serious.
LeBron just a couple years ago.
That guy stinks, by the way. I am done with him.
Who, LeBron?
I'm done with him.
Well, you didn't like his antics last night?
I just everything. Now, Tom Brady, the difference between Tom Brady and LeBron is Tom Brady will go there, and Tom Brady is so competitive. Although he has the TB12 treatment and the TB12 facilities, and he does have a business on the side, he's not worried about all of the extra curricular activities. He's not going to start like 7 shows. He's not going to do all this. He's become very difficult to like. He's become a very difficult person to like. I was a diehard LeBron James fan.
Yeah.
Had a shoe deal, was driving a Hummer, the whole thing. Went to Cleveland, then he went to Miami, back to Cleveland. He's a hero, saved the day, out to L.A. No team. Shows up drunk to the court. Starts doing ridiculous things on the basketball court and an NBA court. Not something that the greatest of all time would do. Kind of gave up, took a vacation year, which makes sense because you've been in the playoffs for so long. You played more basketball than everybody else. Take a year off when you get to LA. Do what you got to do. Start a couple shows. Get mad at Magic Johnson. Do whatever you got to do. But this year, he got his guy. He's got Anthony Davis. He's got his guy. He's got a team. Got a new coach. Then he tries to copyright Taco Tuesday. Then the China stuff, which just makes him look like an absolute buffoon. Absolute buffoon. Absolute buffoon.
Makes him look like an absolute buffoon. What happened to that Pat McAfee? What happened to that Pat McAfee? Mm-hmm. Yeah. None of these people out here. No, see, Pat McAfee has been doing all this WWE stuff. Mm-hmm. Mm-mm. He said from 6 years ago. What does he say about LeBron James that wasn't correct in 6 years? What has LeBron James done within those 6 years that changed any of that? He's only gotten worse. So it doesn't matter if it's 6 years ago. He's the same old LeBron. It's the same old nonsense. It's the same old trash. So hit the like button up. I miss pre-ESPN, Pat. Yeah, now if this is the studio, yep, that's what happened. See, they always want to try to paint you off as crazy. Like, I need a studio production. I need dancing cheerleaders. I need the crawl to come up, and I need to be in a studio or to be hired by Fox Sports 1 or ESPN to be taken seriously. Well, people have to come to realization that in their last days and moments and time and whatever, people seem to choose who they want to be around mostly and what they choose to want to do within said time. So if I choose not to speak to someone, they're going to know about it in the loudest way. If I have a problem with somebody, they're going to know about it in probably the loudest way because they're going to know I got a problem with you. Most people, such as myself, never cared about what other people thought as, a moment for them. Mm-mm. See, people like Pat McAfee picks and choose their victims, but nothing that he has talked about showed diversity or anything of the sort. Then all of a sudden, LeBron does an interview with him, and then you have these black people I've never seen before in life. I'm like, where'd these black people come from? Well, you kind of want to ask yourself those questions. And the reason you want to ask yourself those questions is because you want to know the person you're dealing with in the interview process. And from what I've seen, you've seen people who have mostly conservative right-wing views on the Pat McAfee show. I've seen nothing but, people like AJ Hawk, Aaron Rodgers, and just some of the worst people in the world on the show. So, didn't judge Pat off of any of this because he never seemed to be political. But they've always had an opinion against black athletes. I've seen that a lot. Any opinionated black athlete making a point, they come out and then they start tearing them down. When Ryan Clark started making his comments and started telling the truth about Aaron Rodgers, they all circled the wagons to go after Ryan Clark, even though Ryan Clark was saying the truth about Aaron Rodgers. I'm just saying at this point, things should start aligning and making sense. And it just isn't making any sense, not to me. I'm looking at it and I'm just like, this doesn't make any sense. Why are we taking this approach? Love comes in all forms. Deep down, so you really love LeBron. Yeah, right. I would love for him to be eliminated in the playoffs this year. I would love for him to be out the league. I would love for this guy to be gone. And he's like, if LeBron's gone, what will you talk about? Something else. I'm very much capable of talking about something else. The question is what you gonna talk about. So when we brought up the statement about why LeBron don't support his black media compadres, why would anybody have any pushback on that? Why would anybody sit there and go, I have a problem with that? Why? Why would you have a problem with LeBron James? I mean, another black man saying LeBron James does not treat the black media like he treats the white media. Why is that a problem for you? That's the part that gets me. That's the part that makes it hard to understand. See, the truth is finally out now. See, we were saying it, we just saying it online. Now the truth was echoed on national television, alluding that these guys are your friends. Why don't you sit down with them? The man saved my YouTube career when he does not have any of the highest views I've gotten on YouTube. Do your research, Jimmy. Did I do the return of Joy Taylor? We spoke about the return of Joy Taylor. She just went through a suspension. They can't just fire her. So whenever a black man is talking about his conditions as a black man, or a black man talking about the condition of other black men, why is it that white men feel that they can make an observation to this that is meaningful? Or they can poke fun at or joke about? If the Jewish people are talking about the Jewish conditions that they've endured, black people don't come in and say, Jay, you can't talk about that. Look, Pat McAfee says, good morning, beautiful people. I still can't believe LeBron had a conversation with the white guy the other day. Was that supposed to be funny? All because black people talk about how the media was treated. LeBron James has treated the black media. You chose to take that route. And as you can see, I had to respond. And all I said was something simple. I don't know why he does that all the time. I still can believe the white guy asked him softball questions for an hour. I can believe that. How would I be a Lakers hater? I respected the Lakers. And to the day they brought that bum on the team. And they lost my respect. When they put LeBron James on the team, they lost my respect. And I can tell you're not a Lakers fan. You're a LeBron fan posing as a Lakers fan. You're a fan of celebrity, not basketball. And that's the problem. That's right. Nah, you said it perfectly. LeBron James only cares about himself. He doesn't care about other people unless it benefits him. That's it. That's LeBron James in a nutshell. Meanwhile, real basketball is being played everywhere. People are waking up. Oh, I love it. Because, see, the more people are waking up, the less they'll be able to fool you. And now all of the stuff that we've said has been regurgitated on national television now, on ESPN. So all of the stuff we've been talking about has been getting exposed to the general public. Stephen A. Smith had to expose the fact that they're forced to cover LeBron. They're forced to lie about LeBron James. And that he has control over ESPN. Right. Normally, they don't talk about anything besides topics that are what we consider white topics. When they start talking about, well, the Pittsburgh Pirates and what the Pittsburgh Pirates should do, the Pittsburgh Pirates should do this, and I think the Pittsburgh Pirates should be doing that. Well, the NFL is exploring possibilities of regular season games played overseas in Emirates. Yeah. We're going over those possibilities and taking those avenues. And I mean, where are we at with the NFL with the tush push? I mean, should they ban the tush push? I mean, the Eagle fans are going to be so pissed if they ban the tush push. I mean, it looks like they're targeting the Philadelphia Eagles if this happens. I mean, I don't know. What is it with you? That's my best Pat McAfee. Now,
with the
out of nowhere, I don't know, the guy they had when they interviewed LeBron James, they brought this black man up there with Pat McAfee. So this black man and Pat McAfee asked the questions to LeBron James. If this brother should have asked anything, brother, I ain't trying to mess up your money, but Do you know why you was up there? I ain't saying he ain't been on the show, but to sit him right up there with LeBron James when they conduct this interview, they got that black guy sitting over there. He's the only guy asking questions with Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee, like, I don't really know anything about basketball. LeBron James is here. Hey, you, Negro Pen. Yeah, you watch basketball, right? You can ask me some questions with LeBron James. Like, you could, like, back me up. Because I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Well, I got like, yeah, I've seen a couple of games. Okay, great. You're going to be in here when I interview LeBron. Because I'm going to need you to interview LeBron. Why was he there? Where was AJ Hawk? AJ Hawk is your right-hand man. I didn't see AJ Hawk in that interview. No AJ Hawk, no Aaron Rodgers. You dig up the black guy that's in the back and bring him out to the forefront. That's it. The Pat McAfee party, baby. Swimming with dogs. That's a Pat McAfee party right there. So, they literally had a wet dog in the pool. They literally had a wet dog in the pool. I mean, it's a wet dog in the pool, man. I don't know what you're talking about. Richard Romero said, "What am I talking about? You're way off." A lot of things he was saying was disgusting because there's no way that these people could sit here and say anything about it. Dog, LeBron could say anything. And these people know, well, we got 17 seconds to shoot the ball. So, what can you do? Oh, okay, great. Yeah, well, 17 seconds, you really got to rush. Like, Pat McAfee don't know what the hell's going on. LeBron can tell him anything. He's just going to roll with it because he doesn't know anything about the game. He said, what kind of party are you having with a dog? A LeBron James party. Oh, they don't want any parts of that. Nobody is as smart as LeBron. Remember that. That's what they want you to believe. So you realize that, hey, everybody's smarter than LeBron. Ask yourself, why would Pat McAfee do that? Why would Pat McAfee go out of his way and jump at the fact that he gets to interview the guy that nobody's trying to interview? Oh, it's back to business now. The LeBron James interview is over. So it's back to business. Oh, yeah, that black guy, he's pushed all the way to the back until it's time to do something with it they consider a black subject. No, Pat McAfee, he was a kicker. Okay, that's what Pat McAfee was, a kicker. All right. All he had to do was work on his legs being strong. What does he have to work on besides that? This is Pat McAfee.
He currently plays for the Bengals. He won 2.
So AJ Hawk
Stinks. But there's a lot of people.
AJ Hawk, who wasn't there when LeBron was there. His right-hand man, you pull out the black guy for LeBron, the token brother. Then this happens.
We learned a lot about LeBron James, I think, and the way LeBron James operates. And I don't like to toot our horn much, okay? I don't like to do that. I think this show stinks. But there's a lot of people, like, kind of upset at LeBron for doing it on our show. If other shows could have done that, would have happened, right? So, like maybe we are good at some things. Like maybe we do have an ability at some, not everything, obviously not everything. I completely understand that. But like, we're pretty good at talking to people. We enjoy talking to people. Like it is kind of, it's kind of the whole essence of the show is we enjoy talking to people. So it's like, hopefully there'll be a chance for that to kind of be understood that LeBron walked in here with no teleprompter, no scripted questions, which is how we operate. Always will be, always have. That's just how it goes.
Once again, taking a shot at Stephen A. Smith. Now, why are you having this conversation with AJ Hawk, who wasn't there? AJ Hawk didn't show up because his conservative, right-wing, elitist a-holes that he run with, right? They wouldn't allow it. He didn't want to be seen up there interviewing LeBron James with his conservative, right-wing, elitist friends. So he didn't show up. He didn't want to be out there. They put the token brother out there to let that go down. So Stephen A. uses a teleprompter. We knows this. And he's basically saying, you're scripted. We're not scripted. So we got the shot that he's sending at Stephen A. Smith. But let's go.
And we had no idea where that was going to go. No clue. But as one thing leads to another, it's like as we're in the middle of it, we're like, it feels like LeBron just having a conversation with us here. Like this just feels like he is very comfortable. And in the middle of it, it was so cool. It was just like a cool feeling to have. And then he takes a picture with us and he's 14 feet.
Yep.
So tall.
Huge.
Yeah.
So
LeBron is 6'9".
Right? I saw a lot of people say they're like,
I've seen a lot of people say LeBron James is tall, but man, he's tall. He's so very tall. He's 6'9". So if you think he tall, why don't you bring Beef Stew on the show? I'm quite sure Beef Stew would have a lot to say to you, Pat McAfee. Bring Beef Stew in that studio. Let's see how that go. I mean, once again, there's no insight. When you're having a conversation about LeBron James being 6'9".
like LeBron now.
Yeah, there was quite a bit of that.
A lot of people saying they like LeBron now.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like we did, like, I think that's good for sports as a whole because this guy's been famous for 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like we learned a lot about it. We learned a lot about LeBron James, I think, in the way LeBron James operates.
What the hell did you learn about LeBron James? You don't cover LeBron James unless he does something that's against the conservative way of life. I think we learned something about LeBron James. You learned about him 6 years ago. Did you forget what you learned about LeBron James? Mm-hmm.
what Stephen A. Smith had to say. Let's take a listen to what Pat McAfee had to say about LeBron just a couple years ago.
That guy stinks, by the way. I am done with him.
Who, LeBron?
I'm done with him.
Well, you didn't like his antics last night?
I just everything. Now, Tom Brady, the difference between Tom Brady and LeBron is Tom Brady will go there, and Tom Brady is so competitive. Although he has the TB12 treatment in the TB12 facilities, and he does have a business on the side, he's not worried about all of the extra curricular activities. He's not going to start like 7 shows. He's not going to do all this. He's become very difficult to like. He's become a very difficult person to like. I was a diehard LeBron James fan.
Yeah.
Had a shoe deal, was driving a Hummer, the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Went to Cleveland, then he went to Miami, back to Cleveland. He's a hero, saved the day, out to LA. No team. Shows up drunk to the court. starts doing ridiculous things on the basketball court and NBA court. Not something that the greatest of all time would do. Kind of gave up, took a vacation here, which makes sense because you've been in the playoffs for so long. You played more basketball than everybody else. Take a year off when you get to LA. Do what you got to do. Start a couple shows. Get mad at Magic Johnson. Do whatever you got to do. But this year, he got his guy. He's got Anthony Davis. He's got his guy. He's got a team. Got a new coach. Then he tries to copyright Taco Tuesday. Then the China stuff, which just makes him look like an absolute buffoon. Absolute buffoon. Absolute buffoon. It's becoming tough to like LeBron.
Now, no matter how you feel about the situation,
Woo! It's becoming tough to like LeBron. Mm, mm, mm. Right. So when Stephen A. Smith and these guys are alluding on national TV about what LeBron James is doing, and he brought up the brothers, the fact that you forgot about the brothers. Right. So that's what I'm saying. All this glazing. The fear of the unfollow. This is what we talk about. This is what we mean when we start talking about going to the next level. When we start saying, hey, you know, why aren't we at this level yet? What are we doing here? Why are we not going in the direction that makes sense for us? Why are we always at the back of the line? That doesn't make any sense. These guys up here have all praised LeBron James. I mean, kissed his feet and everything. What good is that? Media, journalistic background if you don't even use it. Right? They always say, well, they're not real journalists. You think Draymond Green went to school for journalism? You think Shannon Sharp went to school for journalism? Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson went to school for journalism. But see, these are his boys. Why don't you go on their show? You can't say, oh, I didn't have no time. You made time in the middle of an NBA season where you're getting ready to play in a game in Indianapolis, and you stop in to do a show at Pat McAfee's studio. No. He's never had. I want to know why things haven't been investigated. Perk wanted to be known on television. Shit. That'll be a one episode. That would be a one episode show. Everybody's, oh, he's going too far with the Kobe thing. Oh, no, he ain't. He need to go further. The rabbit hole goes deep. We can go further, we promise. He didn't go visit Kobe's unveiling of the statue when everybody else was there. Once again, LeBron chose not to go. He's never visited Kobe and Gigi's statue. We didn't ask him to bow before any engraven image. No. No, you'll see it when it all comes to the forefront. The LeBron James situation has often been something that has rocked professional sports because this guy seems to be at the face of everything. But when anybody calls him out for his hypocrisies, everybody disappeared. LeBron has ruined the NBA ratings, still low. Yeah, LeBron has ruined it so bad, they got to bring in a white guy to save it. Luka Doncic is here to save the NBA. And he's actually increased the numbers in the viewership. So if LeBron James is moving the needle, why did you need Luka Doncic? So is LeBron James first option? No, it's Luka. When the game on the line, they're not going to LeBron James. They're not even doubling him. No one brings up the fact that since they brought in the Wilson ball, LeBron James' numbers have gone up. His free throw percentage has jumped up. His three-point percentage has jumped up dramatically. And all of his field goal percentages from the outside are going up. Why you couldn't do that with the Spalding ball? What's the difference between the Wilson ball and the Spalding ball? So all LeBron needed was a change of the basketball. Yep, I'm asking the right questions that these guys could take and ask on their platforms. And Stephen A. finally started asking these questions on ESPN and letting the whole world know what time it is. Nope. That's why if you get LeBron James on a basketball court and tell him to go shoot a three outside, he ain't going to be able to do it. That's why he couldn't play at no Rutgers Park. He ain't got no moves. Yeah, Luka hanging out with more black people than LeBron. If hater means truth teller, then yes, I'm definitely it. Because notice, no one has an answer for what we're talking about. And Pat McAfee, he's just another one in a long list of people who have broken this code. Once again, neutered. Well, one day we'll see. But as it stands right now, Pat McAfee need to stay out of black folks' business. That's just all to it. If brothers are talking about why the brothers ain't getting interviewed by the brother, stay your white ass out of it. These are black people problems. This ain't got nothing to do with you. The brothers is asking the brother why he ain't doing no interviews with the brother. That doesn't concern you, Pat McAfee. You should be sitting your ass down. And right now they spamming my page. The brothers did not need your interference. Right. These are black folk problems. The brothers is telling the brother to sit down and asking him about why he ain't talking to the brothers. Why he going to the other man instead of the brother man. So they got to sit him down, have a conversation with him. Nobody asked you to come throw in your little 2 cents of comedy. Talking about, I think people are starting to like LeBron now because of us. No, they don't. No, they like beef stew. That's what they like. They like beef stew. They like a guy like that who wasn't afraid to put LeBron James in his place, wasn't afraid to go to jail for what he believed in. Knocked this doggone conservative white guy out in Phoenix, and they threw him in jail. And he got out and got back on the court and made millions of dollars. And if you violate, that man will demonstrate. He should get a bonus. That man just sold more tickets than the world could ever imagine. Oh, we love that. Hold on for 1 minute. Don't think we going anywhere. We're not. We're not going nowhere. Because they didn't just piss me off. They didn't sabotage this. Hold on. I'm going to be right back. All right, Ceno's back. Ceno is back. Boy, when they try to dirty up the game, they try to dirty up the game. Man, they don't like this. Good. I'm glad. That means they listening. Mm-hmm. Right. So Pat McAfee had no business sticking his nose into the right. He's sticking his nose into business that don't concern him. Mm-hmm. No. Come on now. Be serious. Do you think Pat McAfee, that was his design? You think that was his call? He wanted to come in there and do the part. He wanted to come right in there and think this was just going to be an okay thing. He's acting like he's stunned this got turned into a black-white decision. I turned into a Collins on that picture. My Collins side came out. Yep, that's going to be the picture they had. And Davis goes off the rails. Began choking 3-4 individuals who looked like LeBron James. Davis is being held with no bond in sight. Yeah, and that's how it's going to be. I don't know why Pat McAfee jumped into black men's problems. You got your interview with LeBron. Congratulations. Yeah, congratulations. You got your interview with LeBron. So why are you still doing this? If black men are talking about why a black man isn't getting interviews when they cover LeBron James 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 52 weeks out of a year, 365. They cover LeBron James every day. They praise him. And he's promised these people that he would interview with them. Promised them all. He never promised you a goddamn thing. You come out of nowhere, didn't have to talk about him at all, and you get the interview. So yeah, those brothers should feel a certain way. And for you to sit there and make fun of it and make a joke about it, like, hey, can you believe LeBron James did an interview with this white guy? And like it was a joke, when brothers is asking another brother why he ain't talking to the brothers, this is not your problem. But you want to jump in it. And it was a lot like this.
Say, man, do you mind? I'm trying to talk to the brother here.
I am. Can you excuse me and my brother want to talk? You know, black stuff. Excuse us. It's private.
You mind? You mind?
You mind? You mind, Pat McAfee? Do you mind? Do you mind, Pat McAfee? Do you mind? Do you mind, Pat McAfee? I'm trying to talk to the brother here. Do you mind? Huh? Do you mind? God damn. What's his problem? I'm trying to talk to the brother here. Do you mind? Right. He ain't reading the room. And this is what we mean here about this privilege. Because if you understood the privilege, you would understand this, buddy. If you understood what privilege was, you would understand this. As I'm going to deliver it to you right here, buddy. Right. Stay out of our business, or you will become the business. Pat McAfee. And I'm out.